Grok Imagine is getting it. This is a 15-second video. This is pretty next level. That means in the next little bit here. All right. Today we are back at it again. Chat, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to check out what's new when it comes to AI models, right? So I'm looking at some, so video models are getting pretty up there. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you are someone right now doing any type of YouTube videos, you wanna start experimenting with video models sooner or later. The only difficulty that I'm seeing right now with a lot of people when it comes to video models is they're not really running their own hardware. So they have to rely on using maybe a cloud server or something else. They might have like a server subscription they have to pay, so they avoid it. I'm going to show you in the next little bit on how to utilize that so you can probably create your own trained B-roll machine, right? So if I'm creating videos on YouTube myself, I want to have my own B-roll of myself. Let's say I'm talking about motivational speeches. My agent will run that for me. My editing agent will incorporate my B-roll to it, right? So that's the best part, right? When it comes to video. Some people say, what's the use case? That's a great use case. So Grok, as you look at here, Grok Imagine, I believe, it's gotten to the point that you're looking at some high level type of video being created for you. So if you were you wanted to create like a video game snippet, Grok Imagine is getting it. This is a 15-second video. This is pretty next level. That means in the next little bit here, video game creation is going to become part of some of the solutions we can generate in the use of AI, right? So that's an untapped market. That's a market that's been so difficult to tap into. Not many people had access to. People been gatekeeping it. So very exciting stuff to happen with that. So if you want to use Grok Imagine, that's your best bet. What is the point of using it as a creator? I'll show you exactly what I mean, right? So let's say you're a YouTuber, you're a brand, you're a personality, you are potentially maybe a realtor. Okay. The reason why these AI models are interesting. So let's say, for example, we have Imagine that allows you to create these 15-second to 30-second videos now easily, high quality. All you have to do is do the training one time. When it comes to AI, the initial training is the only investment that you're putting in. The rest is template. Like, for example, I'll share with you my thumbnail process. You see this thumbnail process prior to me training, this probably would have taken me so long to come, take a picture, I've done this in the past before. It's not fun, but you can see I've made hundreds of different variations just with a prompt. And it only took me that initial moment of training it. So really that's what you're dealing with when it comes to any type of AI models, is initial investment that you have to kind of put in there. So what's the use case of having these video models within your toolbox? Okay. So let's say you are a personality figure or anybody in general, anybody in any business. You could be a dentist, you could be anything, but let's just focus on realtors or YouTube. These people are, one of the early adopters to most industries. Okay. So you have that. What can you do? Okay. So you could probably have your AI model start testing out things that you utilize under this. So that means B-roll. Okay. So when you talk about your next topic, or when you're doing a showcase, your next property, you don't want it to be your AI avatar or yourself or somebody just looking into the camera. You need to utilize that B-roll. And creating that B-roll before meant you had to go, dress up, go to a location, spend like 2-3 hours, maybe grab some lunch, all that stuff. We don't want that anymore. What we really want to do now is have our B-roll library continuously with our agent and our topic of video autonomy in the background, doing it autonomous. So once you have your AI agent, it's creating your B-roll, essentially creating your assets for you. We've limited that to a one-time 30-minute maybe training, get it up and running. The rest really just goes in there. So what does that give us at the end? That's give us volume, okay? That gives us potentially, more personalization with the topic, which at the end of the day, it's going to lead to views and attention. Can you make money out of that? Of course you can. Just do the math. You get yourself to 10K subscribers. All of a sudden, the algorithm is pushing you much heavier, meaning you are preferred by the algorithm. It's just pushing you. Now you're starting to get views consistently. Everything's happening on the background. You're a realtor. You sell maybe homes, you get 7 to 8K commission each. Now you're getting 10 to 15 leads extra a month that are highly qualified. They think you're a celebrity. They treat your time well. And now you're closing plus 5 extra deals a month. Just because you took advantage of what we're talking about, these AI models. It took you 30 minutes to set up and you're making 50K a month extra by starting today in 2026, right? In 2026, you did this. So 2027, you're on track to essentially become local celebrity. Now you could ask yourself, hey, I'm not a realtor, I'm somebody. Any person that relies on selling something, they have face-to-face interaction. You don't even have to have that either. It could be a SaaS company with a faceless brand, right? But what we're telling you right now is you need to start utilizing these AI models that come out on a daily basis. For example, Grok Imagine, that makes these things possible. And if you are someone that doesn't really want to dabble into the models, you want a custom solution, you can 100% just create a custom solution out of this. You can check out the link description below, book a call with us. We can probably create a custom dashboard solution for you, an ecosystem that you don't have to go back and forth and tap into these models and make life easier for you. You just want to get to the money, right? Some people really just want to get to the money. Hey, I want to do this. I want to get the meat and potatoes. I want that 10K subs within the next 90 to 150 days. And I want to be on track to make 50K a month by the time this ends. So that's what I want. Let's make it simple. I don't want to go check out which model, what this. You do the thinking for me and let's get to the result. So that solution is easy. You could check out the description below. Join the community if you want to learn how these processes are done in the description. Or, like I said, just book a call with us. We'll guide you through there. And that's probably the simplest path. So let's go and check out what other solutions we had when it comes to video models, right? Grok Imagine is the one that's pumping up. Like I said, it's not just about having that personal brand, the initial thing. It's also about, let's say you want to start building assets on the web, on Meta. For example, we have Roblox. We have different video games that come into play, Fortnite maps, right? All these things, Fortnite maps. These are all opportunities where before people couldn't tap into them. The difficulty level was way up, But if you look at the money-making potential, a lot of the people who are doing this, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars low-key because you don't even know about it. It's just such a gated thing because the difficulty is so up. Now, because of these AI models that we're talking about right now, Grok Imagine, plus a bunch more that came out, you can now realistically start dabbling into these methods if you want to be there. So what I would do if I was in the B2C space, I would start utilizing this on my own local LLM so you're not paying for tokens all the time. So your best bet right now is to go acquire some hard drives, some hardware. So you could start with maybe something simple, but I would probably tap into hardware. I would invest maybe a few thousand. I personally did this myself, invested a little bit of money, nothing crazy. So I would start investing a few $100 to 1K, acquire some hard drive because the prices will keep going up because, it's going to become harder. These models makes it easier, but other things might come into play and make it harder for yourself. So acquire your hardware for the long term if you're serious about this. Okay, so you can tap into all these models. What would you do with these models? Obviously, as we can see here, right, you could start experimenting with that. You can translate it into some of the softwares that it takes to create the video games. For example, apps, maps, Roblox, if your game plan is to get to this level. When it comes to Fortnite maps, I know this one is much, much more realistic. I don't know too much about the Roblox one yet, but people do make a lot of money on it from what I hear. So the Fortnite maps, once you create that environment one time, the next step is pretty simple. Start promoting it on TikTok. Start creating these clips and videos, gameplays on the map. And that's it. The more people come play your game, they don't have to buy anything from you. This is all free. This is the beauty about some of these things. You're not asking someone to take out their credit card, right? They just have to come and play the game. So it becomes a very simplistic approach to making money and utilizing these AI models, right? Once you start seeing it like that, you start putting into action, you start seeing the value of some of these things we're talking about. Oh, Lee, I don't have to go grind it out there, be on the phone, send some emails, do all these things. I really have to just optimize for one thing. First thing, be early in the process, which what we're telling you right now, we're already sharing some of those things. Start testing, acquire the necessary tools, which is the hardware if you want it to be cheap for you, okay? You don't have to go down that route, but it's probably the most ideal scenario because you want control of what you're doing, right? When you acquire the hardware, you're in that free lane. You bought your own ticket. You don't have to pay a toll, like a highway toll ticket every time to, use it. So that's the beauty about it. So I would acquire that hardware and I would build the MVP. I will choose Fortnite maps for that. The promotion site, if you saw the last video of how we talked about how you could build the moat, we talked about how you build the moat when it came to marketing, right? So right now we're at a timeline that development has become easy, but the biggest part, the hardest part has been the marketing is the hardest part. Marketing was a little bit difficult. So what we did in the last video, I'm not sure if you follow, you could probably find it here. We talked about exactly how you could create a moat using some methods for the marketing, how we can simplify that because marketing works in the branches, okay? When you think about marketing, it starts with one thing, which is a video, a long form video or a major, just a video, a long form video that you could transcribe to text, to clips. This is why a lot of live streamers are getting so much traction because they have so much video in the sense of long form, and on a daily basis, they're just clipping it up. So we're utilizing the same method. We're not trying to redesign the wheel, as they say. We create that long form video, systemize it using probably Grok Imagine or ourselves or a model, whatever it is. We actually have that recorded. And then we utilize that method that I talked about in the last video, which was it's a mind map approach to connecting your accounts rather than individually going and posting individually. So all you have to do is do one click upload. Your AI agent department, your marketing department goes out there and does it for you. It pushes your videos, and maybe your goal is to get 100,000 views per month. It's pretty simple because now all you have to do is diversify your accounts and just push it out there. So if I do the math on 100,000 views divided by, let's say, 200. Let's say you couldn't get your videos to pop. You're in a TikTok jail or your Instagram jail, whatever. You need 500 uploads. Easy, right? Easy. Now, let's say you do 30 accounts. Boom, 16 uploads. And we're talking about, what is that? That's per month. Okay? So realistically, you need 15 accounts to post 30 times. So 30 times, easy. That's 450 videos times 200. That's your 100,000 views per month. That is how you can get yourself to at least gain some traction and get yourself to a position that, you start taking this seriously, not be in the idea stage for too long. Because the main goal we have here right now is to solidify what we want to approach, what we want to work on, so we can expand it and move from there. Right. So that's the best bet. That's how I would approach it. And that's how I would go forward. So I give you two opportunities you can utilize for video models. Example, Grok Imagine. We have the creating video game assets in general, or we can have, utilizing it for yourself. There's a third model I would like to talk about right now, which is actually taking this whole approach that I told you right now, vibe coding your own method and actually getting users. So for example, if I were you, if I'm making myself a brand personality, I'm not really interested in making video games or anything like that. I want to just make money. So I will vibe code a SaaS in a weekend while having brunch with your friends. Now you could have your environment be on your phone if you know about that. You can have it be on your phone. You don't even have to be behind the computer. You can be on the gym and you could take the same thing. I'm telling you right now, you can vibe code it, create essentially a dashboard that taps into exact model API. Let's say Grok Imagine API. And then from there, you can get yourself the output for videos and you can push it out there and utilize that, get that money coming in. So 25, you do the math on that, easy, 25 times 300. Yeah, you can make 10K a month very quickly doing a business, pushing this very quickly. Within 90 days to 100, this is a 10K a month starting point, which, if you utilize good marketing methods that I talk about, you get it to 100K pretty easy if you really want to pursue that. If you stick to this one thing, there's a 100K a month business model right then. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. If you found this video to be helpful, and you want to utilize more resources like this, check out the description below. We put out all our, case studies, how we operate, how a lot of this stuff that we implement, and you can gain access to it. And I'll see you on the next one.